In this trip to our world, I will be taking you to one civilization that carved over 200 underground cities into solid rock, with the deepest plunging 280 feet below the surface, and the largest housing 20,000 people. What they engineered underground defies everything we thought we knew about ancient capabilities. Entire subterranean worlds with ventilation shafts, wells, chapels, and even schools that allowed thousands to survive for months without ever seeing daylight. The engineering these ancient builders pulled off makes modern underground construction look primitive. We're talking about 52 ventilation shafts descending the full depth of 85 meters, with the deepest shaft measuring 55 meters, all carved by hand through solid volcanic rock. To put that in perspective, Derinkuyu's depth of 85 meters exceeds the height of a typical 20-story building. Imagine digging down from the roof of a skyscraper to the basement, then continuing for another 10 stories underground. The ventilation system alone defies belief. A central air shaft 55 meters deep supplies fresh air to all levels simultaneously, a feat of ancient engineering that kept the underground population alive for months at a time without returning to the surface. The genius lies in the dual purpose. The ventilation system also functioned as a water well, with many shafts connected to underground water sources, providing drinking water to all levels of the cities. They engineered a life support system without electricity or modern tools. Now, consider the reality of navigating this place. The cramped living quarters, low ceilings, and narrow tunnels mean passages barely wide enough for one person in complete darkness 280 feet below the surface. The claustrophobia would be overwhelming. Yet 20,000 residents called this home for months at a time. Modern analysis of these systems reveals that AIR quality in the deepest chambers would have remained adequate for indefinite habitation, a remarkable achievement for ancient technology. The defensive engineering is equally sophisticated. Circular slabs of rock, weighing up to 500 kilograms, could be rolled across passageways to seal off sections of the city, measuring up to 2 meters in diameter. These are not just doors, they are half-ton circular stone wheels that could completely isolate entire floors. The terrifying part, stone circular doors could be opened only from the inside for security reasons. Once sealed in, there's no getting out until someone inside decides to let you. More than 600 entrances to Derinkuyu have been discovered hidden beneath homes in the surrounding village, meaning the entire town above ground was effectively the roof of the city below. The whole surface village was a massive camouflaged entrance to this underground world. You could be walking down a normal street, step through someone's basement, and suddenly find yourself in a subterranean city that housed more people than most modern towns. The scale of the excavation work is genuinely hard to comprehend. Workers removed millions of cubic meters of rock over centuries to create the interconnected chamber networks, narrow connecting passages, and sophisticated infrastructure systems, all done with primitive hand tools. The result? Space equivalent to multiple city blocks, stacked 18 levels deep and equipped with spacious living quarters, communal kitchens, stables, churches, schools, wineries, and oil presses. This represents just one city out of over 200 discovered so far. Each one required decades of backbreaking labor, incredible engineering knowledge, and the kind of desperate motivation that only comes from facing an existential threat. The question that haunts is not just how they built these places. It is what were they so afraid of that they were willing to live like moles for months at a time? And how did an entire civilization develop the skills to engineer survival in the depths of the earth? After hearing about those 500-kilogram stone doors that could only be opened from the inside, would you be brave enough to spend a week living 280 feet underground in complete darkness? Drop your answer in the comments below. But here is what makes this underground civilization even more mysterious. Archaeological evidence reveals that early Christians carved these underground sanctuaries almost 2,000 years ago to escape Roman persecution, with thousands of Christians executed during sporadic persecutions that continued until the early 4th century. The crisis began in 64 AD when Emperor Nero blamed Christians for the Great Fire of Rome and began systematically killing them. The Roman Empire officially persecuted Christians as policy only twice, in 247 AD and 303 AD, but both campaigns lasted several years and were devastating for Christian communities. Such underground cities provided security to people and allowed them to perform their prayers there. They were also places of escape during periods when Roman soldiers could arrive at any moment, forcing entire Christian families to grab their children and livestock and vanish through hidden basement entrances into a world that existed entirely below the surface. The threats came not only from Roman governors, but also from followers of different ideologies traveling the Silk Road that passed through Cappadocia, with disputes that could be doctrinal, territorial, or simply monetary. Christians used these subterranean networks to hide during periods of persecution and during Arab raids from the 7th to the 9th centuries, with some underground cities used even into the early 20th century by locals escaping conflict. Visiting these underground marvels in 2026 reveals the gap between ancient engineering and modern accessibility. Derinkuyu is the most popular choice for first-time visitors, and it is the deepest with 8 levels and 60 meters deep. It could shelter 20,000 people, and it feels the most extensive. Entry costs 300 Turkish lira, about 9 euros. It takes 1 to 1.5 hours to explore. It maintains a cool 13 to 15 degrees Celsius year-round, so bring a jacket. The physical reality of exploring these places is unforgiving. Due to the ancient construction, narrow tunnels, and uneven floors, Derinkuyu presents serious challenges for visitors with mobility issues. The passages are genuinely narrow, and you are descending 200 feet into complete darkness with only artificial lighting to guide you. Claustrophobia is real, a visceral reminder of what full-time underground habitation would have demanded from those early Christians. Between 150 and 200 ancient underground cities lurk beneath the Cappadocian landscape, according to Turkey's Ministry of Culture and Tourism, differing in size, but the largest could accommodate more than 20,000 people. Yet here's the extinction urgency that should terrify anyone fascinated by ancient engineering. Only 49 chambers, less than 5% of the newly discovered Mediate city, have been excavated. Dozens of underground cities in Cappadocia remain sealed and unstudied, with the most recently discovered approximately 80 kilometers from Derinkuyu and potentially the largest underground city yet. We're losing archaeological treasures to time, neglect, and the simple reality that excavating 18-level cities carved into solid rock requires decades of work and funding that does not exist. The engineering secrets of how an entire civilization survived months underground may be buried forever in chambers we will never open, taking with them the final answers to humanity's most impressive feat of subterranean survival. Subscribe for more impossible engineering achievements. Watch this video about the world's most dangerous ancient stairs next.